Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video.
We were actually accessorizing the Montreal Fashion Week, and my business partner looks at me and she's like, Eri, I cannot believe we're here. I feel like we're exactly where we need to be. And for me, like, everything instantly went slow-mo, and I look around and I was like, what the am I doing here? This is not my world. Yeah, I think I'm a free human. I don't give much about what people think.
Cute squirrels in the morning because I'm in El Salvador. It's a really hard thing to describe the feeling I have when I land in a tropical country. I enter my Airbnb, I unpack my suitcase, and all of a sudden I feel really at home. So yeah, welcome to El Salvador, where we are going to be spending some time with my friend Erika, a free human. I'm so excited to introduce you to her world because she's pretty sensational and living a very free, wicked life. So let's meet Erika. Say the whole name in
Français? Erika Drolet.
Okay, so you are French Canadian?
Yes, I am.
How long have you lived this free life for?
I would say it's been 8 years now. I look back, and for me the turning point was in 2014. Bought a one-way ticket to Indonesia and basically never came back. I studied in fine arts, Montreal and also in Italy. And I started pretty young a jewelry company at 22 years old. It's called Jane and Rye. You start to notice all the things that are not really aligned with what you're actually craving and desiring. For me, there was a big part that was like selling goods, consumption goods, and trying to convince people that they needed this jewelry. Well, in my head, I was really thinking, I think you should keep your money and go travel. And then I actually went to see my brother in Colorado, and we did some mushrooms. And because we were both seeking, I guess, like a new perspective on things, and I instantly like started crying, and he was like, what's going on? And I was like, I don't want to be in my own business anymore. There was so many things I was like, how am I going to figure this out? But I was like, I want to buy a one-way ticket to Indonesia. When nothing is certain, everything is possible. And this is exactly how I feel at this moment.
In order for me to experience Erika's lifestyle, I decided to learn to surf in a village close to Erika's home, learning through Puro Surf with Marcelo Castellanos, a world-renowned surf coach and a dear friend of mine. So I just got back from my first day of surfing, and we have a small hiccup, actually. My shoulder is flaring up again. I had an injury 3 months ago, separated shoulder actually, and I thought it was healed, and paddling so much has really flared it up. So I'm actually not sure if I'll be able to continue this. It's day one and it's hurting a lot. So I've been icing it all day and I have to continue doing this, but I'm actually kind of concerned that I'll have to give up, which is crazy because it's day one and I'm here for 10 days and I really wanted to get much better at surfing so that I can do it anywhere without my coach there. So let's see what happens. What do you think a free human is?
For me, a free human is someone that does life on its own terms. And that might sound cliche, but meaning that they feel they have their absolute right to follow their instinct and follow their inspiration and follow their gut wherever it might lead them, even if it's irrational or if it's against the current, and just be like, oh, I absolutely feel like doing this and I'm convinced that it's gonna work. And if it doesn't, that's fine too. I'll have invest my time and my energy and pour my love into this. But a free human is someone that live unbounded by the typical standard of society, and that is somehow unplugged from the matrix and the standard mold in which a lot of people evolve. One of the greatest things I've heard is that a fish doesn't know it's swimming in water, or that it's even in a tank, and a free human is one that realizes that there's water and there's a tank and is able to have an external vision of that and choose things on its own term with the awareness and the consciousness of the truths that are absolute and the ones that are relative, and is able to withdraw itself and observe and have awareness of what are the truths that are relative versus the ones that are absolute. And I think this is so important because as we grow up, so many truths are passed on to us as being absolute by our culture, our education, and as you travel, mainly for me at least, that's when I started to realize that like, wow, a lot of things about education, about marriage, what is the right way of living was very relative to my own culture. And for somewhere else, another place, it's not their truth. And therefore, the free human decides what its own truth and follows that. There is this quote that I really like that says like, one of the greatest things that my parents did for me was to let me run with my ideas. And they really did that. Like the fact that they let me road trip across Canada at 18, when a week before the road trip, I crashed my own car. Looking back, I'm like, wow, my parents, they must have been like, holy crap, we might never see her again. But they still let me run with my ideas, and that's beautiful. And this girl that was 18 in cross Canada, like, she was really young and innocent. And I remember being on the other side and being like, so, how do I wash my clothes? You know, all those things that you have no idea and you really discover there. And like, they didn't say like, how are you gonna survive on the other side? You don't even know how to cook eggs. They were just like, good luck with the rest.
I didn't think I would be able to surf anymore. I thought it was done, okay? I thought it was over. I kind of slightly gave up, and then the coach said one tiny thing. He was like, just don't paddle a lot. I'll push you a lot, and why don't you paddle like this on the board? Get on your knees and paddle like that. We'll just paddle as little as possible. Can we do that? And I was like, yeah, that might actually work. Surf was incredible. It was the best session I've ever had. It was so relaxing because we weren't trying to rush anything. The waves were so gentle and nice and so lovely for beginners. I caught an endless amount of waves. It was my favorite session I've ever done.
There was this moment in Indonesia, sleeping on this island, like tiny island. Woke up I slept under the star, and I woke up that day and I was like, my mission on this earth is to become so free that my freedom will inspire others, will liberate others. I studied art actually on my youth. My only university degree is a diploma in fine arts. And I think it's like one of my favorite part of my story is like, you know how we grew up thinking like, no, but don't study art, you're never gonna make a living out of art, like art is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, but I love art, you know? And I studied admin and I did like all the other things. And then in the end, I'm like, I'm a university dropout, I studied art, and yet, I'm a free youth.
You live in El Salvador, Canada, and you travel extensively. Is it unsettling for you to be moving around like this?
I feel like I used to be the girl that spin as fast as the light, and the desire to slow down and maybe put your things on a shelf would be nice and unpack. And then you start to like lengthen the duration of your stays. It's like, if I go somewhere, I'll go for a month. You know, I'll go for 3. And then comes the desire to like maybe have your own place, and which at first you're like, no, I'm good. Like, and then you're like, oh, having my own place would be very nice. But you come to El Salvador and you're like, El what? Isn't it very dangerous? And you're like, come see by yourself, and you might find out that LA is pretty dangerous too. But you might find out that you're absolutely wrong about this country, and that's what traveling is like, to realize that you're wrong about other countries. So I bought a land in 2018 and decided that I would build my own house, and I would be walk to my favorite wave with the intention of slowing down.
Talk to me about your house. How much was it, like what the process was of building this place?
In 2018, I decided that I wanted to slow down a little bit and get my own place. And so I actually worked with a real estate agent to find a land that was appropriated. And for me, there was like the criteria of like being walk to serve, being inside the village in an area that I felt really like safe and such, and ended up finding this piece of land that like I was really lucky because it was pretty much the last piece inside the village of El Tunco. So that was a big luck and the perfect timing before El Salvador started to gain a lot of momentum. At that time, I paid $30,000 for my land. Another reason why it was really affordable is because originally there was a river passing in the middle of my land. It's still there, but we had the idea that we could actually change the course of the river so it wouldn't cut the land in two. It would go onto the side. I would lose a few meters on the side, but I could still build. And then I worked with a local architect and engineer, and it was important for me to get someone that could help me like kind of like key in hand and do the whole building process. Some people are like really excited about the idea of like, I'm gonna build my own little place. I was like, I know nothing about building. I already run 2 businesses, ain't got time for that. I need someone that can help me go through the process, and I just have to like choose the color of the cushions at the end. Well, that's not exactly how it happened, but that was the theoretical concept. So yeah, I work with him from like creating the plans all the way to like the end of the construction, and it's still someone that helps me a lot with maintenance and such. So the building itself, we built for about 115,000 for the building, which was, no, 115. Everything is custom made. So that's another thing. They have here the craftsmanship, not so much taste. So the furniture, the lamps, the curtains, this and that, like even like the heating system for the water is custom made. Everything had to be custom made. I was like, why everything has to be custom? Like, because nobody has those ideas here, Erika. And I was like, oh.
Hello, my name is Cyril Amour, and I am a free human. Therefore, I do absolutely nothing but recline and relax at all times. So, with the spirit, I'm going to do my job and tell you about the sponsor of today's video, which is Squarespace, from the comfort of my own home. I actually can't eat this grape because my face is stuck. Squarespace is a magnificent tool for business owners, free humans, and artists like myself to build a beautiful online presence that actually gets the results. Let me tell you about some of the incredible features of Squarespace, such as the new editing interface. This is a game changer. It makes your site so customizable, therefore it can suit your needs completely. With Fluid Engine's flexible grid, place blocks anywhere, even overlapping other blocks, and resize them directly on the page. Of course, there's the Unreal 24/7 customer service that comes with Squarespace, as well as the award-winning designer templates that make you look professional even if you do not have an eye for design. Plebs! You do also have the complete marketing tools, including email management, top analytic tools to track the performance of your webpage to continue refining and improving the results of your business in real time. Squarespace hosts your content seamlessly, text, videos, and photos, of course, but also audio blocks can be inserted in case you're a podcaster, for example. Excuse me, plane, do you not see that I'm making an ad? Shh. And this is just a few of the amazing features of Squarespace. So therefore, head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you are ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Sorel, that's my name, to get 10% off your first website or domain. Obnoxious Sorel is out. Never mind. The summer season in El Salvador means that the waves are kind of small. So we're talking December, January, February. The waves are quite small and then they pick up and they get huge. So this is a really good time for beginners, but it also means that sometimes the waves are a little too small. And you know what? I kind of had a feeling that today would be like that because yesterday was so fun and I was so hooked. And I had this feeling, I was like, is this the moment where you fall in love with surfing and you start being obsessed with catching that wave because it feels so good? I think yesterday was it for me. So it's now like, yeah, I'm sold. I want to surf more and more because the feeling you have when you catch a wave is pretty spectacular. So another morning, 7 a.m. Let's go. to be fair, I'm freaking stoked that I'm at a stage now where I get to say, like, this is too small, whereas a beginner, usually the smaller the better, but now I'm like, come on, like, I need to practice. But again, just to reinforce, El Salvador is known for consistent epic waves, and they're actually saying that this week has been the smallest they have seen in years. Let's talk about your business. How on earth do you make money?
So I'm the co-founder of two businesses, sister companies. So the original one is the Salty Soul Experience, and it's a travel agency where we offer surf, yoga, and empowerment retreats for women in 3 locations currently: El Salvador, Ecuador, and Bali, Indonesia. So those are active vacations, and that's the main business that we operate since 2015. And then from that company, we ended up branching out into the Salty Club. So the Salty Club is a fitness and wellness app that focuses mainly on female inboard sports. So obviously surfing is our biggest niche, but we also try to create for snowboarders, skiers, wake surfers, wakeboarder, kite surfers, skate and skate surf, which is a discipline in itself. So yeah, that's the sister company, and there's 2 reasons why this company came to life. Is that one, we came to the realization that not everybody could afford coming on like a physical experience with us or travel with us. So we wanted to create a product that was more affordable. So the price point for the app being $19.99 per month, like it makes it very accessible. And also when the girls come on the experience with us, most of them like have a really transformative experience. It was such a bummer that at the end of those epic 8 days would be like, well, good luck with the rest. So we wanted to find a way that they could keep growing and expanding with us and we could stay connected. So this is how the second company come to it. And there's a third branch that we also have an online store with merch. But that's for me like a very, very slim slice of the pie. We're not trying to put more products out there in the world. But if people want to wear a cool shirt, well, we're there.
Let's roll. Then just wiggle with your front foot. Yeah. See, there is so much speed. Can you feel it? I know. Wiggle all the way up. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, girl. Yeah, eso. Now and then you gotta look here. Yeah, there you go. Better. Bam, bam, bam. I'm going there.
I fucking love my life. Just as FYI, like, here we are. This is
Tic-tac with the plastic.
yeah. What makes your retreats different?
So what makes Salty different, I think that first of all, there's the empowerment side. So I always felt like it was what distinguished us from the other surf and yoga camps, that 2 or 3 empowerment workshops per retreat. So self-actualization and working on like the emotional side of things. Although a lot of people are really familiar with like empowerment and self-work, well, a lot of people have never been exposed to learning about like the psychology of things and how you can optimize your mindset and yourself to create a life that resembles you more. Most of the girls that come to a retreat, not all of them, but a lot of them are in quarter life crisis. It sounds really dramatic to say that, but like, you know, you've studied, you graduated, you started your first job, life went on a little bit, and then you woke up one day and you were like, is that it? I thought this would be much more fun, and it's not so fun. A lot of the girls that come to the experience are curious, are interested into a different kind of living, but they have no one in their direct community or surrounding that are doing so. And so they see that perhaps coming to the experience will be the first seed of change, or they will gain some knowledge and tools and a glimpse into like how they could make it happen for themselves. And the experience is really an opportunity for them to try a bunch of new things. The whole week is us facilitating for them the opportunity to learn to try surfing, to try so many different kinds of yoga, to try underwater training, to learn to surf skate, even jump from a waterfall. A lot of girls have never even jumped into a waterfall, and you're like, come on, like, you can do this. And they're like, oh, this is so high. And they're like, ah. And then they do it. And they're like, this is the best day of my entire life. Like, I've never felt so alive. And I think that's the main goal of this experience, is giving them the opportunity to try a lot of new things, to get a sense of their own aliveness and help them find or refine what really makes them vibe.
How many of us can actually relate to the feeling of starting something and then being so excited and so in the moment, can't wait to do this, I'm definitely going to take up this skill, only to have life get in the way or something happens and then you just never go back to that because you think to yourself, oh, I've already failed. Like, I haven't learned it once, why would I go back to this? In my case, I really did have the best intentions of keeping up surfing, and I got ripped out of El Salvador the day before they locked their borders when the pandemic hit, and I went back to Iceland where I'm living part-time. And so I tried surfing in Iceland, I tried keeping it up, pretty dreadful. So I just stopped 2.5 years. And so I could have easily said, well, I've tried it, I don't want to do it again, like that's stupid, why would I do this? You know, it's a thing of the past. But I decided, fuck it, I really want to learn this skill. So what I learned back then isn't a waste. Like, it actually still is in my body, it's my memory, so I can pick up a lot of what I thought I'd forget. And so I'm not starting from zero again. I really thought I would be. I thought I'd be starting from scratch. And like, day 1, I was catching waves. Day 2, I was catching epic waves. Restart a skill that you've wanted to for a long time that you've let go. Please. I believe in you.
Why El Salvador? This is a question I get a lot, I feel. Most people don't even know where the heck is El Salvador. It's a tiny country stuck in between Guatemala and Honduras. What I love the most about El Salvador, besides the waves, and the true answer is the waves. It's one of the places with the most consistency. We can surf basically 300 days a year, if not 365, but let's say like we're gonna leave a few days that are like not so exceptional. But also because this place invites the square pegs. I feel like it's not a place that most people, or like the average traveler, thinks of going, or the more conventional seekers. And it's a place for the misfits. It's raw, it's black sand, it's different. And when people land here and choose to come here, it's like, welcome, you've landed to the land of the misfit. You're one of us. And besides that, obviously, like, it's warm, it's affordable, people are super welcoming, talking about the local people. Yeah, there's a good equilibrium and bonding between the foreigners and the local, and for me, that's really important.
Come sit. I just want to say that I feel the same way about the locals. Like, I was noticing yesterday that I was like, wait, I have a 50-50 split of friends that are like foreigners and locals. And Oscar is El Salvadorian. And he's filming this and he's such a good buddy and we've known each other for years. And yeah, I kind of love that about this place.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a special thing about this place.
That is all.
Yeah, we're creating with friends, not like working with friends, it's creating with friends.
Yeah.
I like that.
Let's make a circle. Nice. Back. Bend your knees. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you get the impression that you can always lay down. It's like, no.
Here from there. Yes, perfect. Sí, ahí te sueltas, suéltate. And go to the right. Sin el pie, without the foot. Perfect.
Do you think you're a free human?
Fuck yeah, I think I'm a free human. I do believe I'm a free human because I don't give much fuck about what people think. I've always followed my gut, and it definitely led me to a lot of places that were unconventional and uncertain. And if I look back, and I would have told my teachers in high school that my dream was to run surf retreats in El Salvador when I'm from landlocked Canada, they would have been like, yeah, keep studying, you know? Keep dreaming, but this is gonna be a hobby, whatever. But for me, it just made so much sense and I never doubt it. And a lot of things I jump into is just, wow, I feel like it, and why not, you know?
I feel so complete with all of the training. I feel like a brand new level has been unlocked. I feel like now I can understand what the waves are doing, and instead of just freaking out every single time a wave comes, I actually can read it a little bit. It's like, oh, this is what's going on, so I just need to adjust here, walk forward here, turn this way. It's like, yeah, I feel like I've actually reached intermediate level where I'm understanding what to do in certain situations. And my favorite part is yesterday, it felt like I reached flow. I actually said to myself at the end of the session, this is ecstasy, this is bliss, this is being fucked by life in the best possible way. I was sitting out there in the ocean and there was just magic. It's like I entered a brand new dimension and everything felt so vivid and present. And there was so much joy in the water and everyone was catching these beautiful small waves, but it was just so joyful. And it really felt like flow state. And this is why I now know I'm a surfer. I want to unlock that feeling time and time again. So whatever that activity is that you kept putting off and doing a little bit and then forgetting, that board that you have in your closet, that instrument that you have in your closet, that book that you have half written, is it too late? If it's still nagging you and you still desire to do it, go to your closet and get that paintbrush and finish that half painted painting. It is not too late. Thank you so much to the team at Puro Surf and Marcelo. Bro, you're cool. And all your team, you guys are epic. So thank you so much for your dedication to ensuring that I have a skill for life now. So thankful for you to introduce me to this world of surfing. But now I've surfed in all these pretty beautiful warm conditions here in El Salvador with nice cute little waves. Can I do it elsewhere? Let's try.
Erika's lifestyle is impressive to me because she's found a way to monetize all of her passions whilst still preserving her time. What part of Erika's lifestyle appeals to you most? Thank you for showing us around your world, Erika. You will find all of Erika's details in the description, and see you next time for another episode of Free Human.